What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Game of the Week show. I'm Matt, that's Dan, that's Ash.
Hello.
Hey.
So, very exciting show today we've got for everyone.
We are super jam-packed this week.
The PlayStation experience just happened at the weekend, so we'll get into that in just a minute. But if anyone is new to the show, it's a weekly show where the three of us get together every Monday to discuss the latest news topics in the video game industry. We also then go through the game releases for that week before each picking our favourite games of the week. So if you like video game news, let's plays and other stuff, you can check out our website, thegameinitiative.com. The link to that is down below. So, as I just mentioned, PlayStation experience. Second year of this new Sony conference that they kind of have decided to have for themselves to make themselves feel good. Last year's was a good one.
It was last year, yeah.
This year,
not so good.
Not so good. What was your? Well, we'll go through some of the things. We're not going to go through everything here because we like to keep our shows at kind of a consistent length.
Well, we'll try and keep it as punchy and as relevant as possible. Yeah.
Yeah. If we went through everything here, well, you could just go and watch the conference yourself.
Yeah, it's 1 hour 45 minutes.
There'll be a full write-up on our website that you can go and watch all the trailers if you want to just pick and choose the certain trailers. But they kicked off the show with kind of a video highlighting how great it is to be a gamer, which
it was like any
true
trailer. It was great. It was it had some great clips in there of some games, and it was a lot of adrenaline.
All of their upcoming titles.
Yeah.
And then leading out the show, firing big guns early, we had Uncharted 4.
Yeah.
A nice little scene with Nate being a paper pusher.
Yeah.
Which looked really weird.
It did look weird.
Sitting behind a desk. You're like, what are you doing, Nate? But as the scene progresses, his brother knocks on the door, he comes in, they have a conversation, and it basically ends with the brother, Sam, his brother, saying he's in trouble, which is kind of what we thought about and talked about, I'm sure, before. Don't know, it was either you or
I think
you or maybe even all of us. Yeah. We said that it's probably going to be, he's going to go back into the business because he's in trouble, or his brother's in trouble, so we either have to go and save him or...
Well, we said obviously it's moved on a while, and we knew that he was married to Elena. We knew that there was obviously going to be something family related that would, either Elena or children or somebody was going to need his help.
Yeah, that was from the very first trailer I think that they had of him on the beach, didn't they? They talked about I can't remember, I should have looked it up now, but about how the things you have to do like for your loved ones, like losing a loved one or something, isn't it?
That's right.
Yeah. And then we were talking about who's going to die. Is it Sally or Elena, or hopefully no one? It's not a series where people should die. I don't think.
I think someone will.
Yeah.
I think one of the main. I think either Sam, Elena, or Sully. Yeah.
Interesting.
I think so. I personally think so. I think it'll be because we know it's going to be the last game. I think there'll be some tears to be had.
But you don't kill Nate, do you? I don't think you can kill Sully because it's been so close. Like they've teased us before.
That was basically the last game, wasn't it?
Yeah, they teased us and they were like, he's dead. Like there was like a good couple hours in the game where he just wasn't there because you assumed he was dead.
Yeah,
and he was like, hello.
Yeah, and they basically did the whole did we kill Elena in the second game?
Yeah,
at the end.
Yeah,
so maybe it's Sam's turn.
Yeah. No, I think we'll have some very, very good story to this final Uncharted game. I'm really excited for it.
One of the extra things they showed in the trailer was that we now have choices. In dialogue choices. Yeah. We always have choices, obviously, but yeah, dialogue choices. Sam's basically trying to find out what's been going on in Nate's life, and he asked him to start with, what was the word he used? Like his favourite or the best memory or favourite memory.
Yeah, Nate was just like, where do I start? And Sam was just like, I'll start with the best bit. Yeah, and then you were basically given the choices of the 3 previous games.
Yeah, the Eldorado, Shambhala.
And the Pillars of...
Come on, Mr. Uncharted.
I know, wow.
Anyway, you get 3 games.
And then the third one.
It's because you haven't replayed that one, you see.
Yeah, I know.
Still working through it. So whether or not that's a single option or if that's going to be a concurrent thing throughout the game.
Yeah, it's like, as I said, like when we watched that's almost like a little thing of allowing people who've played all the previous games just to say, this is what I enjoyed the most.
But how does that affect the game?
But
it's got to make a difference.
It's like if it starts going through lots and lots of different things, is that going to affect
That's the
how
thing.
it flows?
We don't know. We don't know whether your choice then affects how the game, if it changes anything in terms of the dialogue.
Yeah.
Because like one of the reasons these previous games have been so successful has been because you've just been following the story that's been set out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like if you start interweaving different things.
It would definitely be a change of them as well, because obviously we didn't have a choice even in Last of Us either, did we? That was not a. That was like, this is our story, and I don't think it will be, personally.
Yeah. Because like the one thing I wouldn't want is to be like 2 hours in, make a choice, then takes me cannonballing down a path that I don't want that story to go
I don't think
down.
it will. I don't think it will see
But
that.
no, but you know what I mean. I don't want that to be.
Yeah.
So anyway, only a few months to go now. We'll
Yeah.
find out. Hopefully that is it in terms of kind of trailers, reveals. I don't want to know too much about the game.
No, I don't either.
So hopefully that'll be it now
and
until
certainly the story I don't want to know too much
until
about.
March. So it probably will be. There's not really. So that's the first part of PSX,
Which is
we don't.
Great start. Yeah.
Then Sean Layden came out with a Crash Bandicoot shirt, which was not cool. Very, very not cool, because he knows how much everyone wants a Crash game. And he's like, and what did he reveal? Final Fantasy VII, the remake. There was more gameplay about, which is fine, fair enough. A lot of people are excited for that, but don't toy with fans' emotions like that. It's just unless it means that Crash is coming.
Yeah, it might be a sort of.
It's
Yeah.
either a subtle. It's either an insight into the future, or it's just him being a massive douche.
Yeah, it could just be him with his middle finger up to everybody.
Hasn't there been that sort of thing happen before though? I can't remember
I can't
what it was, but I feel like there's been, maybe it was even him last year at PSX. He wore something else.
Well, I know that everyone that last year they trolled them really hard by it talking about how everyone was really excited for Final Fantasy VII. Everyone had been screaming for it to be remade, and then they finally said it was coming to the PS4, but it was just a port. Like there was no up-res or anything. And then obviously the remake got announced at E3. So maybe if you follow the same path, maybe we will get an announcement at
an
E3.
announcement at E3. Yeah.
But the port version, the original PS1 version, basically, is now available on the PS4 from today. So if you can't wait for the remake, you can go get that. Then we got some other stuff. Gearbox, Activision came out promoting Call of Duty and Battleborn, and then we got some Street Fighter stuff and like that. Like I said, we're not going to go into everything. We're going to just talk about what we are interested in here in order to keep it tighter. Then we got a few little indie games and stuff like that, all looking pretty cool. We got Yakuza 0, which actually looked quite cool.
Yeah, I like the look of Yakuza.
Yakuza 5 was announced originally for the PS3. That's coming out December 8th, which is tomorrow? This week.
Yeah.
So we've got Yakuza 0 coming next year on the PS4, which does look cool. Then we saw a couple of fighting games. This one called Neo, I think. I don't know how you pronounce that one.
Yeah.
But this was this is from Team Ninja, Koei Tecmo's kind of team. Looked quite a cool little fighting game.
Yeah.
Not really, didn't really see much about it, but the gameplay itself looked exciting. Good kind of hand-to-hand combat. Anytime you get a katana sword is a good time.
It
in my
is.
mind.
It is. Well said. Yeah.
Moving on a little bit, we've got MLB The Show. It's going to be coming as it comes every year.
Yeah.
Obviously,
I was
if you're
expected anyway.
fans of baseball, so that's good. Then we've got a couple of a free-to-play game, if you don't want to pay money for your video games, called Guns Up. It's a strategy game. Moving on, we've got Ratchet and Clank, which you said you're quite excited for, Ash?
I am. I do. I mean, it's the style of game that I do enjoy. It's I think it would just be something. It'd be nice to have something that's a little less serious and a bit more cartoony. I like occasionally to pick up a cartoony sort of game. It's nice.
Were you ever a fan of the superhero? Well, not superhero, kind of mascot platformers in the day? Down at all, Ratchet and Clank, or God, I'm blanking on all of them now. Jack and Dexter was obviously
No, it's like
the big one.
never really
Spyro the Dragon.
Never really played
Dragon.
any of them. That's the thing. I don't know if it was just it was the wrong time in terms of me owning the consoles.
Yeah, no, I
In
know.
terms of like what I was looking for to play or what, but it's like I never picked them up.
No. Well, now you got a chance anyway.
Yeah.
2016. Ratchet and Clank coming back. We've got the movie
Yeah.
as well to look forward to.
We do, yeah.
Then we move into a section of the show which was very big emphasis on VR. Obviously, this is the kind of audience where you would expect Sony to push it to. They don't have to. E3, they need to please the mass market. Whereas, their new kind of side project's not the right word, but their new project, they know they can present it to the Sony faithful and
get a good reception.
Reception. So we saw that. We saw like a multiplayer kind of battle where there were these two guys standing on a platform and they were throwing like discs at each other, kind of like Tron style.
Yeah.
Which is gimmicky, isn't it?
It is gimmicky, but I think they're just trying to really show what the capabilities are of VR and try and give you a sense of what it is like to be immersed in that as a first person. And I think they did quite well at demonstrating that.
That was the impression I got off that.
Yeah.
That wasn't so much trying to show the game as such, it was trying to show, because it's on a very limited sort of like background in terms of what's surrounding you, and so you could see how it actually works. They were describing all the hand movements, the head movements and so on. Like they were showing that actually working with, as they were moving things, you could see it on the screen of like
how fluid,
translating.
Yeah, how fluid it was and interactive.
It was all like to be more of an actual tech demo, just of how it works.
Yeah.
It was a good way to show it.
And I think rather than doing literally like the design mannequin look, where it's like just the little blobs that made together that make up the torso and the arms and the head and everything like that, they just put it into something that looks more video game like.
Yeah.
Than the very, very bare bones, which they could have done.
Yeah.
They could have just had that and gone, hey, look, me move my arm, and it's like.
But they made it like a more entertaining experience for the viewer, which was cool. Talking of being immersed in things, we saw Ubisoft's VR game, Eagle Flight. Where basically it looks like you flying around the city of Paris. The humans have all gone away, but the eagles still live on. Of course. So
well, Ubisoft love their eagles.
They do. They
do
love their eagles.
And I think this could be. We said straight away. It's like that could be quite nauseating.
Yeah, it's
flying around the skies of like cities.
It's quite fast paced, and it's just very quickly delving into like buildings, and it looks quite. I think if you're fully immersed in that, I can imagine that being the sensation being a bit.
But also potentially very cool.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe that's like a secret sort of thing, so they can figure out who can be a jet pilot.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah.
Well, we saw things like Ace Combat as well was also announced. Talking of jet pilots, so that's another title people could be happy for. Then we saw the Modern Zombie Taxi Company VR trailer, where you are a taxi driver giving the undead lifts around town. Obviously,
zombies still got to go places.
And if that's not crazy enough, we then got 100-foot robot golf.
We did, yeah.
Another VR game where giant robots have a round of golf and
knock over skyscrapers
and
hit
each other with the clubs.
Yeah, and fight with golf clubs. Yeah, and hit a golf ball from the moon back to Earth.
So that was your VR section of the show. None of the games that we originally saw. We got some teasers of games, obviously at Paris Game. The problem, I think, is a lot of their big titles you're kind of already maybe seeing. We're not getting many announcements here.
No.
Like big games. And that was the problem with the show. There was not a big single first-party studio game announced here.
I think we expected a nice, either a Sony exclusive or something that's completely new. It's Sony's conference.
Yeah.
And there just wasn't.
Well, we got Ni no Kuni 2, which is a title that a lot of PlayStation fans, well, the original Ni no Kuni is passionate for. So that doesn't excite any of us, but it does excite a lot of PlayStation fans. And then they ended it. You talked about something new. We did get something new. It's called Paragon, but it's a MOBA. So fuck MOBAs.
It won't appeal to
they might be the most popular games in the world right now, but
it won't appeal to everybody.
I couldn't give a shit about it.
Yeah, I know.
Multiplayer online battle arena is like, I think that's what it stands for.
Yes,
it is.
It's like multiplayer and online, and I mean it's like, but it's made by Epic Games, the guys originally making Gears of War until they kind of banded off and became now the Coalition I think that's what they're called now. They've basically kind of gone like in-house and made themselves like a dedicated Gears of War studio.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was it. That was the end of the conference. So like we said, no big new game. Like we, obviously we saw kind of like Being Human. Being Human? Is that right?
Being Human? Yeah, I think.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The Quantic Dream game that was announced at the end of PSX. Detroit.
Detroit,
yeah.
Detroit,
Yeah.
and it's a human. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks
Being
good.
Human. Oh my god, Being Human form. It's these drugs I'm on, they make me ill. But yeah, like we saw quite a few like big new games, and like even the VR games there looked kind of less gimmicky than what we saw here, maybe.
Mm.
Yeah.
Although Eagle Flight aside, I think that looked quite.
Yeah, it does look good.
But the problem is with now we have so many different shows, it's impossible to have new games at every show.
Yeah.
It is. I realise that it is.
And I think this is obviously this shows more of for the fans. So, they know that they can show, they know Sony fans are going to be happy with showing like the smaller indie games and like the niche games like Ni no Kuni 2. It's like if this was like an E3 conference, they would get absolutely slammed for it. I mean, I still don't think it was great, but like E3 is where you have to show the big AAA titles.
Well, that's just it, because you're going up against your competitors there. And if you don't bring the big guns, you're losing out on potential new customers.
Are we still in agreement though that effectively Microsoft have a better lineup and year for next year?
I think so at the moment. Like, what I take away from this before we move on to item number 2 of the show after 17 minutes is where the fuck is all the first party games? We talk about them not having any first party exclusives. Again, not a single first party studio. Yes, they've got partnerships with some of these studios, and some of those games we've talked about will be exclusive. Obviously, VR is exclusive, but where are like Sony Santa Monica making their own game? They've made. We'll get onto that in a minute. They are collaborating with other studios, but where's like a new God of War or something different from them? Where is Sony Bend, who have made nothing since Golden Abyss for the Vita? Where are these studios? What are they making?
On holiday.
Where's Sucker Punch's game? I mean,
yeah, that's a good point.
I think Sucker Punch is. The problem is they earn their right to be the closing act of an E3 though, rather than a lower show. Like, with all due respect, it's only 2 years old. So, but I want to know what all these studios are doing.
I know.
And
They're
Xbox.
working on stealth projects that Sony are just going to drop.
Well, like if they do it all like obviously Bethesda did with Fallout, come out at E3 and be like, here's Sucker Punch's new game, it's coming out in November.
Yeah.
I mean, Fallout has proven that is quite a good marketing way to go.
That is. Because people don't sort of, it doesn't drag on and people sort of lose interest. You want to strike while the iron's hot, so you want to be announcing a game and it coming out pretty quickly. I think personally, for me, that works for me.
Yeah.
With the likes of Halo 5, that was just, it went on and on before it eventually came out. And when it did come out, I'd already sort of lost interest by then.
Well, it probably didn't help the fact that you've been playing all the other ones as well.
Well, yeah.
Like that marketing campaign went on for a long time. I don't think a game marketing. You should never announce a game for more than a year out. Really, on Andromeda, Mass Effect, it was announced at E3, but we've literally seen nothing to this game, and it's less than a year away now. We know it's coming, which is fine, but.
That's just it. I think if you're too far out, you need to just say, the game will be coming. It'll be coming in this year.
Yeah.
Just so you know. Just so that fans aren't left, going, are you making another one?
Are you doing it? What are you doing?
I really like the others. I'd really like to know you're continuing working on this. It's like, yep, it's coming.
I know.
Hold out, and you'll get it.
We will find out soon enough. But yeah, not quite as good as last year's PSX is my closing opinion.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
Number 2.
We need to move on
the news list. We also had the Game Awards this week.
We did.
So 2 shows in a week. We had the winner. We'll start with a winner of Game of the Year. The big one was The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. So congratulations to that. Beat out the likes of Bloodborne, Fallout 4, Metal Gear Solid, were its other competitors. CD Projekt Red also picking up the Developer of the Year. We won't go into huge details here because we'll be doing our own Game of the Year picks kind of in a couple of weeks. I think we might probably do it after Christmas so that any games you get at Christmas you have time to play them and add them in.
Yeah.
But worthy winner, do you think still?
I think so.
It's not a complete shock. It's not. It's a
not
game
a
that's in
complete shock.
contention.
The reason it beat Fallout 4 is because everyone is still trying to play Fallout 4.
I was going to say.
I think.
Yeah. Had we been doing this in January and a review of the Game of the Year, I think Fallout 4 would win.
It would certainly have a better chance. I think Fallout landed at the wrong time to truly be considered.
Yeah.
People haven't had it for long enough.
Yeah, because they haven't had enough time to get in depth with the whole thing. Whereas, Witcher 3's been.
But undoubtedly, both very, very good games. As was,
Yeah, I'm not going to get into the argument of whether or not Fallout, if it was in January, whether or not Fallout 4 should win or not. So we'll move into the list of the other games anyway. We'll just run through them very quickly, and then you guys can tell me if you've got any opinions on them. We got best indie game was Rocket League. Best mobile, I mean that was not a surprise. Best mobile game, Lara Croft Go. Best narrative, Her Story. Best art direction, Ori and the Blind Forest. Best score / soundtrack, Metal Gear Solid 5. Best performance was Viva Sifa in Her Story. Best shooter was Splatoon, which is a nice little surprise.
Yeah.
Best action adventure, Metal Gear Solid. RPG, obviously, The Witcher.
Yeah.
Best fighting game, Mortal Kombat X. Best family game, Super Mario Maker. Best sport / racing game, Rocket League. So be another like FIFA, Forza.
It's surprising he won that one.
It's perfect. It's the only sport / racing game, really.
Well,
True. Best multiplayer, Splatoon. Most anticipated, No Man's Sky. And the Games for Change Award. Not really quite sure what that means, but that was won by Life is Strange, Don't Nod Entertainment. So, any of those jump out for you? I mean, I've played most of those games. Lists.
I mean,
apart from obviously the Nintendo ones.
I think they're all undoubtedly, very, very, worthy of the win. Some nice big names in there. I know Life is Strange is, a great title, great story. Rocket League, bit of fun.
A lot of fun.
Splatoon, not played, but I'm sure we will get the chance.
It's interesting that it beat out the more traditional actual gun shooters.
Yeah, being off the likes of, again, does it fall in the same thing that Ash is saying? The big shooters, Call of Duty, Battlefront, they've only just come out this month, so again has.
Yeah, but you had Battlefield.
They were nominated
quite a while.
Battlefield. But anyway.
But
it's good. It's nice to see some Wii U games in there.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That's just it. It's like it's interesting to see it, but it's also good to see it.
Yeah.
Not everything was happy at the Game Awards though. There was a big story.
Yeah.
We're not going to get into a huge details of it here
we won't.
But basically, what happened was Hideo Kojima, the creator of Metal Gear franchise, was not allowed to collect his award for his game at the award show because Konami's lawyers told him that he wasn't allowed to attend the show. Fucking hell, Konami.
Where's Jeremy Carl when you need him?
We always say we don't know the other side of the story.
Yeah.
We've always said that, Kojima could have been abusing drugs at the office, could have been doing something hideous that we don't know. But Konami just continue to look like assholes. They just look so, from a PR perspective, they just look like such a bad, just the bad guys all over.
I know.
This is the problem because no one has the full picture.
But the PR people have got to understand
it doesn't look good.
That it doesn't look good.
It's bad publicity.
But this is the thing though, if he has done something wrong, and this is only an if.
Well, then tell people.
No, but if they're respecting him enough not to release that, because that could torpedo his entire future career.
Yeah.
Maybe they're trying to respect that, but they're also trying to keep him away from it. You know what I mean? It's like, because you don't have full sight, they could just be complete and utter assholes.
Yeah.
Let's not get that wrong. They could just be completely the bad guys here, and that is what it is at face value.
We don't know. We don't know.
Because you don't have everything,
no,
you can't judge it.
No, I'm staying impartial, but, my write-up would suggest that I'm not staying.
Are you kind of losing your balance over on the fence more towards Kojima?
Well, my closing statement was good luck with your pachinko machines, Konami.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, anyway, that's the latest in the Fiat. I can't wait till we find out the full story, because it will be so interesting.
It would be interesting.
We saw some more Far Cry Primal stuff at the Game Awards as well. Found out a bit more about it. It is a full Far Cry game. We talked about, is it going to be like a 4.5?
Yeah.
Is it going to be like Blood Dragon? No, it's a full-fledged experience. The world is as big as Far Cry 4. The game will take you as long as Far Cry 4. It is the real deal. And it looks pretty damn cool. But I do still just it intrigues me how we're going to have a game without guns. Like, Far Cry has always been, yes, it's about hunt, survival, and that sort of stuff, but
yeah,
it's always been a first-person shooter, and guns have been such a key thing.
Yeah.
I like that they've got this new direction, but...
Well, from what I've seen gameplay-wise, out of the stuff, like the pre-alpha stuff that I've seen some people play, is you've got your animal.
Yeah.
With you, much like in the
Shangri-La
stuff, but you can have multiple, you can choose your animal, so it's not just your, what was it, tiger?
Wolf and... Oh, well, when Shangri-La was tiger, yeah.
Wolf, bear, like, basically anything, so whether you can end up with more than one at a time, I don't know. That might be a thing.
Yeah.
But it seems like every weapon has a close range melee and a long range function.
Yeah.
So it's like you can throw your clubs, you can swing with your clubs, you got your spears, you got your bow.
Yeah.
I'm assuming those things can be upgraded in some shape or form. You can carry more of them.
Yeah.
I would take it that the enemies will be slightly less armoured.
Well, I mean, armour doesn't exist, does it?
No,
really?
you know what I mean? To compensate,
yeah.
so it's like, okay, spear will go through anyone kind of thing. That's an assumption.
Yeah.
They'll probably be the super enemies.
But you've got the animals to help you. You can ride the woolly mammoth rather than the elephant.
Sold right.
And basically, I saw someone just clearing out an entire outpost on one of them, like you could in the easier ones.
Yeah.
But it seems like, sod it, you've got your things.
Yeah.
It's just on a more basic level.
Yeah.
I think it still works.
Yeah, I think it'll still work. I think it's nice that we've got something a bit different.
Yeah.
It's nice that they've taken... Clearly, they probably thought, do we want to do this? It's a little bit risky. But, you know, fair play to them for
I'm
doing
excited.
it.
I mean, for all you know, there could be a crack in the time rift somewhere and you stumble across a machine gun. And then you rule the world. It's Far Cry.
It is Far Cry.
February 23rd is the day we will find out.
Yeah.
Yes.
A couple of announcements just to kind of quickly go through that happened at the Game Awards as well. Telltale's making a Batman series, which should be pretty cool. I'm excited for.
Yeah.
We don't know too much about it, but the trailer showed like a black and white Bruce Wayne kind of comic book style. Whether or not that's going to be how it is, but I'm very intrigued by that. Rock Band is coming to VR, Oculus Rift, so you'll now be able to get Rock Band on your PC. I suppose it's kind of one of those games that maybe makes sense. We've seen Guitar Hero Live do the first-person rockstar experience, as it were. Yeah. Bound is a game coming from a team called Plastic. They made a previous small game called Lingering Shadows. This is the game I was talking about earlier on in collaboration with Sony Santa Monica. It's a 3D platformer where you basically follow a ballerina around. But
a bit weird, but yeah.
Yeah. It looks like it's one of these ones.
You've got to follow something.
You are a ballerina. Sorry, you're not just the creep that follows this ballerina. You are the ballerina.
Okay.
And then we also got Shadow Complex Remastered announced. Yeah. We talk about remasters a lot, but Shadow Complex was one of the best games of 2009. Won a lot of Game of the Year awards.
With Remastered, they've got to be worthy games, and I think this one probably is a worthy game.
If you've not experienced it before, its gameplay is very heavily inspired from the likes of Super Metroid and Castlevania Symphony of the Night, so two of the games that are kind of considered some of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
And it is a fun game. You should definitely check it out when it comes out next year. So, moving on to number 3 on our list.
At 29.5 minutes.
We have, hopefully, a new Turtles game coming. It's been rated on the Australian Classification Board, which is a pretty high indication that the game will be coming at some point. It's going to be made by Platinum, who made the Bayonetta series. amongst other things, and it's being published by Activision.
I'm surprised they're allowing it though.
No, the Australian version's taking everything else out. You just get to eat pizza. That is literally it in the Australian one.
But they've said no pepperoni.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Well, you can't offend the vegetarian people, of course not.
Yeah, well, it's the Australian, so they're quite.
It is. I got really excited looking at the rating when it said mature. I was like, oh, is it going to be like a dark, gritty game? And then I realised that mature
means cartoon.
It's basically cartoon. Yeah, they have mature, then they have mature 15 and mature 18. It's like, that's not mature. If it's for 13-year-olds, that's not. Have you met a 13-year-old? Anything but mature.
Anyway, sorry, I interrupted you.
No, that's fine. I mean, the last time Platinum and Activision teamed up on a Nickelodeon IP, it was The Legend of Korra, which has a Metacritic score of about 30. So, hopefully, Turtles is like my childhood, so I'd love it to be good, but I fear it won't be.
I don't think I've seen a good game come out in terms of the Turtles franchise.
Back on the NES days.
There was a 360 game. I can't remember what it was called now, but it was okay. It wasn't great, but it would 6, 7 sort of thing. It was. If you liked Turtles enough, you could enjoy it, but you wouldn't go and buy it.
It was the stuff back on the Sega that I enjoyed, and since then I don't think I've seen anything good. Personally.
We got a release date for Harmonix's Amplitude, the music rhythm game that they invented before the likes of Guitar Hero and Rock Band. That one is coming on January 5th and will be available obviously as a download for £16, so it is not a full price game. Looks pretty cool if you've not seen these types of games before. Very fast paced, music heavy, visuals look good. I think early January, there's nothing coming out.
I think it's got sort of co-op options and it's all there. So couch co-op is available. I'm sure online is also available. But it looks like a nice game. And the fact that if you like these sorts of games but you don't want to pay the full price of a Rock Band or something else, then maybe it's
January 5th as well. Perfect time to be. Nothing else comes out early January, so we will no doubt be playing that in a few weeks' time. Then the final item, just a quick PSA, because we are kind-loving people here.
We're all about
giving back to the people. At the moment, Sony are doing their 12 Days of Christmas. They've done it a couple of times before, but if you're not aware, every 48 hours there is a game severely discounted. Severely? Heavily?
Heavily.
Severely sounds a bit...
Severely. Heavily.
Oh my god, it's been a long day. Heavily discounted. It is severely discounted as well. It's just not the right word to use.
It's not the right word to use.
We've basically had so far, we've had Metal Gear Solid 50% off. We then had Mad Max 50% off. And then the weekend, which obviously you're now missed, was Uncharted 50% off. So there's still another 9 deals to go. Like I said, every 2 days. So definitely worth logging in just to have a look. Or go and visit the PlayStation blog where I'm sure there'll be a story about it. Or even... Actually, no, don't go to the PlayStation blog. Come to our website.
Yeah. Come to our website.
Yeah.
We'll then direct you.
We'll then direct you to the PlayStation. But definitely worth. Hopefully there'll be some game. I mean...
And these are big games.
These are
AAA games.
So... Perfect. No one better to buy a present for this Christmas than yourself.
At least you know what you want.
Exactly.
I would agree.
And then we can move into the games that are available right now. New releases, so still full price, unfortunately. But in some instances, we're happy to pay the full price. First up is Just Cause 3, which is the long-awaited, over-the-top, crazy explosion game that we've all been waiting for.
That's a good description.
Yeah. I've only played a couple of hours so far. Don't know if you guys have had a chance yet.
I know I'm getting it for Christmas, so I won't be playing it before then.
But yeah, I've so far played for like I said, a couple of hours, and I've already blown up a bridge.
Really? It took you that long?
Yeah. Well, actually, it's great. You start the game by shooting people with a minigun on top of a plane. So that kind of sets the tone.
It does. Standard Just Cause mayhem. Yeah.
So yeah, really good game, really enjoyable. There'll be a Let's Play up on the channel tomorrow that you can all enjoy, and I'm sure there's plenty of other footage you can go and watch as well. But ours will be the best, so make sure you come and watch that.
Yeah.
Rainbow Six Siege. Is anyone picking this one up? This is obviously the tactical shooter from Ubisoft. We had the beta just over a week ago, eventually. It had its troubles, but eventually it got up. Anyone interested?
Probably not.
I left it. It's not the Rainbow Six games that I used to like. It's like fair play. They want to reboot the franchise and try and take it in a different direction, and hope it goes well. But from what I've read, it seems like this one's just lacking something.
Yeah,
it's like they've said it's good, but it's just not quite there.
It's not great.
Yeah.
That's what I've been hearing. The consoles, apparently it doesn't look that great. I mean, obviously from the beta, it's kind of it looked okay, but you always take anything that's not fun to build, you take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
And some of the controls and stuff were a bit weird, but
I think also maybe once people have learned how to play the game properly, it might pick up, because I think you've got a lot of people who are used to your things like your Battlefield and Call
much
of Duty.
faster pace.
They are running gunners, and that
yeah.
doesn't work in a Rainbow Six game.
No.
So maybe once that settles down.
Yeah, competitive shooting, online shooting is the way to go. So I mean, it's the way of the future, whether we like it or not. So I'm not surprised that they've made the move. It was disappointing, like you said, to not even have a single player option really. Like a campaign. Sorry, should I say? So those are the two big releases this week. We've also got the Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing, which is currently the Games with Gold, which is now live for Xbox One. So we've already talked about that briefly, but you can go and check that out. It's free.
Yeah.
No excuse to not download that one. We then got GTA San Andreas on the PlayStation 3. So obviously, the game's been out quite a while. PS2 game initially.
Yeah.
Now on the PS3. If seems like people were excited that was there. So if you're excited for it, go and play it. It is a good game.
Clearly, there are still there are obviously people that haven't got the new gen now. So it's nice to have a new game.
Yeah. And then Kung Fu Panda Showdown. Don't really have much to say about this one.
Nothing.
It's a Kung Fu Panda game. There's probably a film coming out to tie in with it.
Probably.
Don't really know or care.
No.
It's not going to really be anything of interest. Then we've got Chivalry, Medieval Warfare, and then Cup of War. Just before we close out the show, we have Super Party Sports Football, which is just like a small little party game, kind of cartoony animations and stuff. It's like,
time of the year, isn't it, for the sort of...
If you want a football game, just buy FIFA or Pro Evo. Don't get a party game.
Or
Rocket League.
Rocket League.
Yeah, just get Rocket League.
And then we've got Rock, Zombie and Big Fest rounding out the new titles this week. And we should also add that from this weekend, PS2 games, as we talked about on Carter Chat a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago.
That emulation rumour was true. The first batch of PS2 games are launching on the PS4. I think there's 8 of them in total, including a Twisted Metal and the GTAs of the PS2 era. So 3 San Andreas. So San Andreas is on now 2, 3 and 4. And then obviously
Vice City.
The big one.
Yeah.
But you have to buy them. If you owned the games before, tough luck. They're digital only. It's not like the Xbox where you can put in the disc and it recognises it.
Yeah.
So there's Sony again making you buy the games rebuy the games you already own. So I mean, if you've never played them, then
it's not
fine.
bad. Yeah.
But they're £12 as well. They're not cheap.
Yeah.
It's quite a lot of money for a PS2 game.
It is a lot of money for a PS2 game.
You could probably
get a PS2.
You could.
You could.
Probably not quite, but yeah, it's. I don't know. I think pricing is very key to whether or not this thing's going to be a success. And
yeah, it is.
I don't know. I just feel that they should be maybe £8 games.
Do you think maybe this is just like their initial pricing point, and they'll work out whether it's working, and if it's too high, they'll drop it? Or do you think, right, that's it? They've done their research.
I'm sure
this is what they think it has to be.
Well, it probably costs money to bring them to the system. It's not just the default thing, so that's probably their pricing point. I'd be surprised if they change it. Like, they might have offers.
It's still early. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah. And that is it for this week. We made it through, just about. But before we close out, we need to pick our favourite games of the week. So Dan, from that list, you can include the PS2 games. What is your game of the week?
Well, it's going to be the one I'm going to end up getting and playing, which is Just Cause 3. It's out of everything there, it's the one that's going to cause the most fun.
Gonna cause.
Didn't intend that.
Clearly Just Cause 3, yeah, I picked it up 2 days ago, so I will, after my pre-order finally got here. But yeah, I'll be, although it didn't make a lot of difference because I'm still massively into Fallout 4 and it is just taking over my life, or it has taken over my life.
Are you still employed at this point?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
I'm not the sort of person that would call in sick, but I did take 3 days holiday to play it.
I'm just wondering if it had got into your life that much that, the boss had called you in and gone,
no.
Like, Ash, come on, seriously, you've got to leave the console at home.
I've had
can't plug it into your third screen at work.
My eyes have referenced piss holes in snow a couple of times, but it's been okay. But yeah, Just Cause 3, I will get round to playing it. I'm hoping to jump on it in the next 3 or 4 days if I can. But yeah, it's got to be. I've been dying for this to come out for ages.
That's my pick as well. Just because.
Hey.
It's a good game.
Yeah,
I'm enjoying it, despite its long load times and some frame rate drops. But
yeah, you get that in Fallout as well. But yeah,
the larger the game and the world it's in, generally the longer it takes to load everything up.
And with Just Cause, you've got so much going on, I think, with explosions and stuff moving, it's going to happen.
It's not unplayable.
At some point your console's going to go, what's happening?
Yeah, just go and...
Oh, that's happening, that's fine.
Just go make a cup of tea while it's the ultimate British thing to do. Not while it's loading the frames, while it's... it's fine.
Speaking of a cup of tea, I need one.
Yeah, we'll end now. Yeah. A little bit longer than normal, but... to be expected with all the news we had to get through.
Yeah.
We're not even discussing this week's games because half the games in order to save time. Plus, they're not really worth talking about anyway. You can go and make your own decisions on them.
The viewers forget that we spent 2 hours here before we started filming, just going through everything as well.
Yeah.
So it's
well, don't forget
the commitments that we have to bring this to you.
I'm sure that's what it is.
It is.
But right now, thank you very much, Ash, Dan, as always. Everyone out there, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.